At ease. It's your boy Soul Immortal. Sometimes, man, I'll just sit around and I'll ponder, right? And I'll think I'll say, how is it that, that the majority of the people on this planet are just sleep? How is it that the majority of the people on this planet don't see this world for what it is, as far as like the events taking place, the events that have taken place in the past, the events that are coming our way in the future? Like how do people not see this? And I've come to the conclusion that, the majority of people have simply drank the Kool-Aid. The majority of people have simply taken a bite out of that apple. A majority of people have volunteered themselves to be blindfolded, to be hoodwinked, right? And it just comes down to a group of people that lack clarity.
Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
So why is it that most people, don't gain clarity and will never gain clarity, right? The reason is because most people don't understand that we've always been under attack. In other words, our mentality, our spirituality has always been under attack. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are completely unaware of that. A book that a lot of y'all are familiar with, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, right? There's a particular part in here, man, that stands out to me. And it's in the chapter strategic offense. And it says this. It says, in considering the complete art of war, it is greatly preferable to capture a state whole rather than break it up. It is better to capture the army. It's better to capture the regiment. It's better to capture the battalion, the group, and all that. Then it says, using this principle, you can understand that winning 100 victories out of 100 battles is not the ultimate achievement. Then it says this: the ultimate achievement is to defeat the enemy without even coming to battle. And I'm telling you, brothers, that's huge. That's talking about psychological warfare, right? And if you fast forward to the book, Behold a Pale Horse, right? It goes in, by William Cooper. It goes into detail on how, this plan was put in place. It goes into detail on how religion should be, altered or manipulated or controlled. It goes into detail on how certain organizations that represent a level of freedom, represent a level of awareness, should be shut down. It goes into detail on how relationships and the family structure should be destroyed at some point, right? I'm telling you, and I've seen this. I've observed this. I know a lot of y'all, if y'all can remember the events down in Waco, Texas with the Branch Davidians and David Koresh and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying those brothers were on the up and up. There could have been a lot of foul stuff going on down there. But brother, I've gone down there. I've went to the remains of what's left of that compound down there. And it just so happened that the day I went down there was a son of one of the Branch Davidians there. And he's giving me the whole spiel. He's giving me the whole spiel. And this is what you have to understand. The people in Waco loved the Branch Davidians. The people in that area said, man, these people were sweet. They were giving community service. They were helpful. But the world taught us that, hey, you know what? This is the arch enemy. These people are out to destroy. And all it is, you just had a group of people trying to do their own thing. So the idea or the strategy is to disrupt. Anytime you have a group of people coming together on their own solo mission without this big brother entity over them, that is told to be shut down, right? Look at relationships. I mean, you get online right now, man, you can find content on why you should hate women or why women should hate men all day. And I used to be a part of it. But at some point I came to the conclusion. I said, you know what, man? Like this was the plan. Like this was put in place in order for this to fall. And I was a casualty of it. I've gone through divorce. I've gone through bad relationships. I've talked about why you should not talk to women and all this stuff, right? But I understood at some point that, hey man, this is just a plan to devise things, man. And I just became uh I just woke up to the fact, right? So the question is, how do you remove the veil? So to remove the veil, in order to start gaining that clarity, brother, I'm going to tell you the first thing you have to do. And it's not easy. It's not easy. The first thing you have to do is you have to remove anything from everyone else. You have to remove any title associated with anyone else that's going to separate you from them. In other words, I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat. I don't care if it's Blood, Crip. I don't care if it's Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever other religion, right? You have to understand that a lot of these titles and a lot of these fences that have been put around people are simply to divide a people. And the same book talks about dividing and conquer. Once you can get a people chopped up in as many segments as you can, then we're so busy looking at what everybody else is doing right or wrong, or who's good and bad and evil, that we can't really sit back and see the grand scheme of things. We can't sit back and notice that there are a small group of people that are just pulling the puppet strings, right? So you have to remove that veil, man, and it's not easy. Because a lot of us were raised and experienced certain things, or were a part of certain religions, or a part of certain organizations, or a part of political parties, and it's in our bones now. It's in our bones, and it's to the point where it's like, if someone else is not on that same side, they're low key your enemy. You've already put some kind of barrier up, between y'all, communicating, exchanging positive energy, right? And it even comes down to, brothers, even race. And that's the hardest challenge, man, in this world. Even race. You have to be able to look at another man or another woman and completely be able to see them as strictly another energy, another human being. And a lot of people can't do that, man. I told a story, an old video, of course, about me and my partner Ray back when I was in the military, early days. Ray painted a swastika on my door, man, and me and him had beef. We squabbled out in the parking lot, and ended up being close. They put us together and made us, forced us to like each other. And brother, I learned a ton about myself. I learned a ton about other people and just how this world worked, man. I understood that me and this brother hating each other really had nothing to do with me and this brother. Matter of fact, some years down the road, me and this same brother found ourselves in the trenches, found ourselves in the Middle East, shoulder to shoulder, defending each other. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you this, brothers, if you can find yourself in a situation where you're beside another man or beside another group of men defending your life, I'm telling you, the last thing on your mind is what political party he is, what his background, who he prays to, or what color his skin is, brother. You really don't care. So if there's a situation that puts you in that energy, then why can't people just stay in that energy? And let me say this though, I'm not going to act naive to the fact that there are some people that hate me just because my skin is a certain color. I'm not going to be naive to the fact that several things happen in history. But if I want to put people in that box, I need to put them in that box individually, because I can find people that look just like me that want to do some of those same things to me. I mean, look at Chicago. Look at Chicago and places like that, man. Are you telling me that there's a different type of hate if some man with Asian skin or white skin or dark brown or whatever skin? Are you telling me that there's a different level of hate than a brother that looks just like these young brothers that's willing to do a drive-by and take your life? You telling me one is greater than the other? So I'm telling you, man, when it comes to that, that power to put people in that box of people that hate you, I have just as many black people in that box as any other race that know me, right? So you have, again, man, and that's a hard thing. You have to be able to step outside of that. And the thing is, a lot of people can't see that. So when people look at division that's chopping us up, man, people really don't understand this world the way it's supposed to be understood if you're seeing division. And that's the ultimate game plan, right? Now that brings me to the topic of like black love, or being pro-black. A lot of people think that being pro-black, and I'm talking about black people and non-black people. A lot of people think that pro-black means anti everybody else, when it doesn't. It simply means, pro-black simply means self-love. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't consider myself to be pro-black or not pro-black, because it ain't that serious to me. But I do love seeing my people win. If you go to my Instagram page, man, I'm always putting up people that wrote books, people that have businesses, and I'm always promoting them. I love seeing black people be empowered, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to see everybody win. If for y'all that live here in Dallas Fort Worth area, man, and are familiar with Carrollton, Texas, that's where the DMV, one of the DMVs are, right? And the DMV is slapped in the middle of an Asian community, right? You walk outside of the DMV, man, you're seeing nothing but Asian businesses, restaurants and dry cleaners, and a lot of the stuff you can't even read the sign because it's in a different language, so you got to kind of just walk in and see what it is, But when I'm walking around those areas, I never feel like, oh man, this group of people, they hate me. They're over here segregating. They're empowering themselves. They're doing all this stuff, and they hate me, man. I enjoy it. I love walking around getting the authentic Asian food, or going into businesses and experiencing their culture. It's no different than a few weeks ago, man. I went to the Afro Soco Love event here in Dallas. Black festival, black music and arts and jewelry and clothing. The whole shebang, right? At no point in time did I feel like, oh well, this is for us only. Like nobody else is supposed to come. Like this is empowering us only to put everybody else down. I saw people there of different races, man, enjoying our culture. That's what it's about, man. At some point in time, I don't care what you've gone through. You're gonna have to get above and beyond all barriers, race, political, all barriers, because until you can get there, you really can't see this world for what it is. You really can't see this world for what it is. Because you have to understand that the ultimate goal is, you have to understand, and I might have said this earlier, you have to understand that if we're all in this pot together, looking and focusing on what makes us different, man, you can just never, this world will never be what it's supposed to be. It'll never get on one vibration, is what I'm saying. And to break that down, what I mean is, imagine when you go to like a speaking event, whether you're going to see Wall Street Trapper, whether you're going to see Tony Robbins, whether you're going to see anybody, right? Bob Proctor. When everybody gets in that room, man, a weird thing happens. When that speaker gets up there and speaks, and everybody is there pretty much on the same accord anyway. Once that speaker gets up there and starts talking, man, and starts, putting the energy out there, every single person in this room gets on that energy, and the room just changes. And I was telling brothers about this last night in the Power Circle. I said, you can watch an event on television all day, but until you're in that room with those people, you don't really understand what they're experiencing. What they're experiencing, man, is movement in one direction. And anytime you can put a group of people, regardless of what they look like, what they believe, all this stuff, put a group of people in one room and have one goal, one common goal, brother, the energy is thick in that room. People have a better understanding because you're moving in one body. Think about if the whole planet moved as one body. Think about that, man. There will be no need for all the military defenses. There will be no need for the governments that we have in place. So that's the objective. That's the objective. And once you understand that that this world is the scheme of this world is to divide and conquer us. Once you can get above those clouds, man, I'm telling you, you see this world for a whole different, a whole different something. You know what I'm saying? It's all about love, man. It's all about unity. And that's step one to gaining clarity.